I want you to go over these in 30 seconds, each slide in 30 seconds. This is last week. Some of the topics we have covered last week. Please look at the slide now and choose one action to implement in your life. Maybe take a note in your notebook or laptop. Which one is most interesting to you in this slide? Okay, let's wrap up. Here's the next one. Last week it was all about improvisation, automated writing, doodling, storytelling. Again, please choose one action, write it down. And the next one, please again choose one action and write it down. Wrap it up, please. So today it is called the boring lecture, but I hope it will not be that boring. These are some of the exercises that we will be going over today. Boredom strikes you when you let your habits or routines control you. We want to be comfortable in life, but the problem is we are often too comfortable. If you are too comfortable, you are stuck in a rut. All the same routines, all these habits, they trap you. You feel trapped. You lose your freedom. You need to surprise yourself, and you need to go out of your comfort zone to really inspire yourself. You need some adventure, you need some fear, and you need to go against your fears and do some untraditional things. So lectures are inherently boring, slides are recipes for mediocrity. So I'll try to keep it short today. And it also takes a lot of courage and experimentation to get out of what is boring. Your habits, your routines, the rut. If you feel bored, that means you are not challenging yourself enough. You are not achieving flow in your everyday life. You need flow activities. You need to immerse yourself fully in activities where you can use all your skills and mindset, and you can challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself every day, then you will feel bored because you are not using your potential. You are not maximizing your potential. So to escape boredom, if you are bored in lectures, please take actions. This might be in other modules as well. Take an action. Write notes, doodle, reflect, make materials relevant to yourself, ask what-if questions, identify action points for yourself. Ask yourself, how can I make this relevant, useful for myself, for my life, for my career? So you need to incorporate uncertainty, adventure into your life and turn everything into play. So GPT-4 is great to escape boredom. I recommend that you use it every day, every morning. This is a huge deal. all futurist technologists, artists, designers, content creators, they are all hyped up by GPT-4. They're also, right now, hyped up by Gemini, right? Google just released Gemini yesterday, and people are so hyped up about it. It surpasses GPT-4 in some dimensions. It is even better. It's also multimodal. So also check that out, because in that one, you can incorporate sounds, videos as well, in addition to text. But as you can see, ChatGPT achieved 1 million users in just 5 days. And right now, close to 200 million people are using ChatGPT on a daily basis. And I have written, since last year, more than 700 articles in just 1 year, since ChatGPT was introduced. So it doubled, or even tripled my writing rate. I didn't write all of these articles myself, but I used prompts, and I conducted experiments on things that I'm really curious about. And I asked ChatGPT questions like this one. 2030, I'm really curious about 2030. I asked it 10 questions, and I published it just last year, at this time of the year. And I checked it out. Since last year, this article made close to $100. Not bad. Given that, I spent only 1 hour for this experiment. When I was drinking my morning coffee, I was curious. I just asked it some prompts, and I just got some responses, and I published it. So simple. It took me less than 1 hour to do that. And in 1 year, this is an asset, right? This is an asset that I have just put out there. And many people loved it. I think close to 20,000 people accessed the article and read it since last year. And there are, like this one, I have written, remember, more than 700 articles in 1 year using ChatGPT. So if I want to turn these into ebooks, let's say, I can do it. Or digital products, I can do it. I can attempt to sell them on Etsy or Gumroad. I can think like an entrepreneur, a storyteller, a content creator, and my speed, my productivity at least tripled in 1 year. So make sure you use it for your own curiosity journeys. For example, I want to improve my writing skills, let's say. How can I be a great writer? I asked it 10 questions, again, published the answers. Again, I published this last year. It has been just 1 year since I published, but this one wasn't that much successful as the other one. This achieved, I think, $7 or something like that since last year. But still, not bad, I mean, because I had forgotten about this. And you publish these articles, and then you forget about them, and they keep bringing you income. That's the best investment ever. So you need assets that will continue generating you money even when you're asleep or even when you forget about it. Okay? So that's why it is crucial to establish your YouTube channel, Instagram brand, your online business, your Etsy, Amazon store, create your ebook, create your digital products, sell them on Gumroad, etc. Instagram brand, establishing your TikTok. All of these things will act as assets, and they will bring you a lot of income as well as opportunities in the future. So this is the model that I'm using. I use GPT 3.5 on a daily basis. The quality is very good, and it allows me long texts. I can give it long prompts, and I can receive long answers. And I don't use GPT-4 unless I absolutely need to, because GPT-4 is much slower than this one, and it is double the rate, so it's more expensive. So this one, I use it fully, like 4 hours every day, and at the end of the month, they charge me about maybe $15, something like very low. So I recommend you use this one among the others. So to escape boredom, what else do we need to do? You can build good habits. I'm trying to do that since the pandemic. I transformed my habits. You can read more in this article. I want to focus on things that I can control. Much of the time, we are distracted by what we cannot control. You need to let them go. You need to focus on things that you can focus on, you can control. So how do you cope with anxiety, failures? I want you to read this poster and then write an action after this. It is about why we shouldn't worry too much. So the important point, action point is here. When you think that you have a really big problem, think about the following. What will you think about this problem after 1 year has passed? I know this from my notebooks because I have access to all my notebooks. I opened my notebook from last year. I open it and I read all about these problems that I'm frustrated with in last year. After 1 year, I don't even remember those problems. Yeah. So those big problems that you thought were really big, when you're inside them, it's like a tunnel. You are going through these problems, anxieties, and you think that they are too big. It's like too much to deal with them. But the thing is, your brain exaggerates them. They are like small flies, but you turn them into dinosaurs because we tend to exaggerate. Our brains are exaggerating everything. Okay? After 1 year, you will forget about almost all your problems. And you'll realize that your problem is not that big, not that important. You will figure it out. And you are perfectly capable. You will solve all your problems one by one. As long as you divide them into smaller units. Divide, conquer them, take very small steps. Positive steps. Very small actions, one at a time. As long as you do that, you will not be overwhelmed. And you will establish a system. You will run a marathon. And you will focus on the long term. You're building your productivity system, building your system for getting rich. If you do these things, in the long term, you will achieve a lot. And you will solve all these problems. Okay, so please write down your action after this, after reading this. Fifteen seconds. So, let's say you are very anxious about a topic, about an issue. You can go through these 4 steps. If you have something that you're anxious about, please apply this framework. And you can write a letter to yourself explaining why you feel anxious. Put it in your notebook. Why do you feel anxious? Put all your thoughts on paper. That will help you process all those anxieties and emotions. Number 2, you can create strategies, ideas on how to resolve these problems. Can you address these issues? Using generative thinking, create a lot of ideas to solve these. Break it into parts, think analytically, do research, and take action. Number 3, how would you remember this problem next year after 12 months? Have a long-term perspective. Sometimes when you're grappling with these issues, I always have a conversation with my future self after 10 years. How would Fahri Karakaş after 10 years would think about this? Then I gain immediate wisdom and clarity. Whenever you are having issues, let's say you have difficulty to decide which action to take. What should I do today? You are confused. Always ask your future self after 10 years. Have a dialogue. What should I do today? And your future self will tell you exactly what you need to focus on. What will matter after 10 years and what will not matter after 10 years, and you will gain immediate clarity. And number 4, how can you use this as an opportunity for growth, learning, skill development? Which skills do you need to develop? Which books can you read? How can you go forward? So, if you have any anxiety, please try to apply this framework now and write down at least one action you can take about your anxiety to resolve your anxiety. Which one would you like to do? Write it in your notebook about that problem, about that anxiety, and take an action today after the lecture to resolve it. So, this is your mindset on how you deal with hardships, difficulties, and challenges. The problem is we live in a too comfortable world, and you need to realize that the world out there is brutal. It is really hard, especially the world of careers, jobs, employment. It is really hard out there. So you need to really realize that the job market is harsh, the realities of capitalism are harsh, and you need to think like an entrepreneur. And you need to solve problems like an entrepreneur. That means you need resilience, you need to be resourceful, you need to not give up, and you need to solve your own problems, take initiative in solving your own problems. Unfortunately, with this generation, the older generations think that this generation is thinks of themselves as snowflakes, and they think that they are entitled, etc. I know that these are not true, but there is a perception like that. So you can overcome this by developing more resilience, more resourcefulness. So I want you to take an action again based on this poster. Are you neglecting any of these? If you are, can you remind yourself? Take an action again. $15. Just write down an action, please. The next one, please do this at home. Each time you fail, apply these 13 steps. Let's say you failed at something. I'm a master of failures. I have so many failures under my belt, and I'm proud of these failures. If I had a CV, that would be at least 6, 7, 8 times longer than my current CV of failures. If my CV of failures, I would publish it, it would be much longer. Yeah? Many people do not acknowledge this, do not realize, or do not want to express this. Many people just highlight their successes, but not their failures. But everyone fails a lot of times. And you need to establish a system where you deal with your failures in a systematic manner. My recommendation, what I do, is I follow these 13 steps to deal with my failures. Whenever you fail, please follow these steps. I want you to go over these. Which one is more useful or surprising to you? Just skim through these. Which one do you think is the most useful for you out of these? Take a note on that. "15 seconds, just choose one of them. So in the next section, to escape boredom, you can use your creativity. And these are some of the actions you can do at home. But the important thing is allocating time in your calendar for these activities or hobbies. So based on research, these 8 things lead to creativity. And to be creative, you need to achieve flow. This is an important book. You can do more research about this. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi wrote a book called Flow. It's a classic, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. So if you want to be really successful and creative, you need to achieve flow states every day. What is flow? So he says, contrary to what we believe, the best moments in our lives are not passive, receptive, relaxing times, like watching Netflix or scrolling on TikTok. No, these are not your best moments, never. Your best moments usually occur when your body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something really difficult and worthwhile. So you challenge yourself, you stretch yourself, you go through some hardships, then you feel really grateful. You achieve something. You force yourself. Then you learn much more. When you challenge yourself, when you use all your skill set. And we call that flow. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, how can I achieve these optimal flow stages every day? Can I achieve it every day? Right. Do I challenge myself every day? Do I scare myself every day? Do I go beyond my comfort zone every day? If you do that, then you will grow, learn much faster, and you will think like an entrepreneur, and you'll solve so many problems. So you need some challenges to achieve flow. Give yourself some deadlines. Without deadlines, you will be too comfortable. You need deadlines to solve this issue of escaping your comfort. So to escape your comfort zone, put yourself some artificial deadlines. For example, for me, I write at least one article on Medium every day. That's my deadline. Every day I have to publish even a low-quality article, whatever. Every day. I never skip a day. Okay? That's my golden rule. The same with my YouTube channel. Almost every day I upload a new video to my YouTube channel. That's my deadline. Every 24 hours I have a new deadline. Yeah? And I force myself. And I have been doing this for the last 3 years or more. Yeah? It has been like my habit. Whenever I don't publish anything on Medium or whenever I don't publish anything on YouTube, I feel terrible. Because it is part of my habitat now. It's part of my daily flow. So try to give yourself deadlines to challenge yourself. Okay? So I gave myself some challenges and published a couple of books. Squash book, I uploaded this into the lecture part. In the Squash lecture, you can download it and read this book. And this is the book page on Gumroad. The second one is 99 Creative Adventures. Again, I published this last year. And You can find this on Medium as well as on Gumroad. I divided it into 3 sections, 33 adventures in each of them. And the third book, The Cube, I have a draft of this as well. I'll also publish this as a book, the third one. So give yourself some challenges, projects. The next strategy, invest in your hobbies. Elon Musk is a perfect example of this. As a hobby, he wanted to solve the problem of traffic. And this hobby company is now $16 billion. Which company is this?
Boring company.
Exactly. Boring company, exactly. And how does it work? The tunnel concept works. It has multiple stories, yeah, and you go down, and there are 17 floors, almost, underground, and you can go in your own tunnel. So this was a hobby project for him. He did it in his spare time. So to escape boredom, read and learn exciting things every day. We did a challenge with my wife. Why don't we read 30 reads in 30 days? We did start this challenge on Instagram with our friends, and it was great. Many of our friends also joined the challenge, and we ended up fast reading, skimming these books, to quickly read, finish them. And it was such a great adventure. Can you read 30 books in 30 days? Yes, we did that. Quick skimming and strategic reading and quickly fast reading, you can do that. So Warren Buffett says, read 500 pages like this every week. This is how knowledge builds up, like compound interest. You need to really read a lot. So my suggestion to you, read 100 books every year, at least, because we live in times that you need to read a lot and learn deeply and achieve deep focus. So I did this in 2021. I did this last year, as I'm doing it. I have done it this year as well, and I'll do this next year as well. So 500 books is not that much. 250 of these could be in an area of your deep expertise, and 250 of them could be multidisciplinary, different topics, subjects, to expand your mental models. So it is like building a palace, a magical house with magical doors. The more you read, the more you will open more doors, and you build a palace of knowledge. I also have started reading fiction books, and I did this by building this system. You can read more. In every room of the house, our house, I keep another fiction book. Okay? Whenever I go to that room, I open that book, and there is a placeholder. I just read that page, and my goal is to read just for 1 minute. I put the placeholder in the next page. That's my goal. So I establish a very tiny habit of whenever I go to that room, I just read a little bit. And whenever I go to each room, I remember each book. And I keep books in the toilet as well. The dark science fictions are in the toilet. And I have finished like more than 30 books like this, using this method. Like instead of checking my TikTok or Instagram, I just read one page from, and I have a placeholder. And whenever I go to that room, living room, bedroom, etc., I keep a book in each room. And in this way, you can finish lots of fiction books at the same time. So it's all about establishing small habits. Now, I want you to create your own reading challenge, please. Write it down. How many books do you wish to finish until the end of 2024 in 1 year, let's say? Can you finish 2 books every week? Write down your own challenge. You can customize, of course. And write it down and then sign it, please. Create your own contract of reading, whatever works for you. You can choose topics that really interest you. Some of these books should be about money, how to make money, how to become rich, investment, etc. Some of these books could be about entrepreneurship and business, and success and personal development, and learning and mental models. Some of these books could be about productivity. Some of them could be about new technologies, especially artificial intelligence. Singularity, superintelligence, topics like these. Metaverse. So please come up with some topics and some numbers and create a contract for yourself for 2024. Okay. 10 seconds, sign it. The next section is about outliers, extreme examples. Is it possible to write 100,000 words in 1 day? Yes. Sean West did this. He didn't write 100,000 words, but he wrote 55,000 in 1 day. He recorded this. You can read more about the challenge. He did this live, and he recorded it. But it was amazing. He just wrote this amazing book in just 1 day through talking and through voice capture. Is it possible to try out 52 jobs in 52 weeks? Yes, somebody did this. 1 week job. This is a documentary.
Your passion. If you can't go with your passion.
But how do you go about finding your passion?
Get active and be proactive about doing something. If you don't know what to do, well, don't, just sit around and wonder what to do. Do something.
Here's my idea. I work 52 jobs in 52 weeks to find my passion.
It's the greatest concept on the face of the planet.
It's a crazy idea.
It was an idea that was just not possible.
I have no idea what awaits me and where this project's going to take me, but I gotta take the leap. Ready, here we go.
Right now, I think a lot of people are coming to school with no clue whether the degree they just took really applies to their interests and really what can they do with it.
This week I'm a Hollywood producer,
Snowshoe guide assistant.
real estate agent, fashion flyer. Time to start a new day, Monday morning.
It's the people that make the experience special.
I'm 59 years old and I'm still trying to experience life. There's all these things that I want to do.
And a lot of people say to me, oh my God, well, I don't know what I want. I mean, if I just knew what I want, God, that would be everything. Then here's what you do. Find out what you don't want.
Okay, it's all about challenges and experiments to give yourself some experiments to try and see what happens. So the next one, expand your sense of what is possible. This is called Mountain Man. After his wife died due to lack of medical care, the nearest town was 70 kilometers away. The doctor was 70 kilometers away. He carved a road through mountains. And he did this for how long? How long did it take to do this? Mountain man. 22 years. So he worked for 22 years to build this road, and he built it by himself. And he became a legend. Another puzzle. How long do you think can you live on London buses at night? You don't have any home. This person slept 21 years on London buses because he couldn't go back to his country, home country. And he just ended up spending time on these London buses for 21 years. And then he got UK citizenship. Another example, the Terminal movie, remember? This was a real person. Who is this person? He is stuck at the airport, Tom Hanks movie, yeah? 18 years of living in an airport. Who is he? Mehran Karim Nassari. He was stuck in Paris airport for 18 years. And they made a documentary about him. He became the first global nomad, etc. Can you plant an entire forest by yourself? Yes. He created a forest by himself. So, looking at these examples, I want you to create your own manifesto. Write some notes to yourself. What will you be doing that nobody has achieved, but you want to try out? Create a unique formula that fits you, or a manifesto. See my example. Maybe you can steal some ideas. But I want you to inspire yourself, create some manifesto. Can you do something that others cannot do? Building on your own strengths. Please take a note. Maybe you can turn this into a poster and hang it on your wall, study wall. .30 seconds. Just write something. Keep moving your hands. Whatever inspires you. You can write about your dreams, projects, principles. How will you make your life remarkable and outstanding and distinctive? Okay. The next one is finding interesting ideas. There's an article on this. I recommend you read it. It's an excellent one. Look at this picture. Do you know this picture? What's the significance? So this is called Station Squabble. It depicts two mice fighting in a London tube station. Sam Rowley took it, and he won Wildlife Photography of the Year award by using this picture. But he took this picture at the heart of London. So the next one, write. You can use writing to escape boredom. Please complete the following story. Although she was settled in her life, she felt more restless than ever. She was yearning for change. She felt there was something in the air, something different on that day. She woke up very early and left the house. You will continue the story. What happens next? Write it down in the next 2-3 minutes. What happens next? Finish in 1 minute, as much as you can, please. Try to bring some surprises, unexpected twists. Can you make this story more interesting? Maybe try to come up with some surprises. Try to come up with something that will surprise even you as a writer. Can you do that? So try to come up with an unexpected twist in your story as you are finishing. Can you make it a bit surprising, unexpected? Let's wrap it up. The next one, use the immense power of your mind. How can you use your mind? I think the best example is Einstein. Due to his thinking, he's like laid the railroad tracks for science, for innovation. Due to his thinking, we owe him a lot of technologies. Do you know which technologies or inventions do we owe to Einstein and his theories, his thoughts? Here's a partial list, okay, of some of them. Television, we owe to Einstein. Radar guns, nuclear power, solar panels, GPS systems, satellites, stock markets, weather forecasting systems, automatic doors, burglar alarms, digital cameras, DVD players, scanners, laser eye, surgery, and many others, we owe to Einstein's thinking, which is unbelievable when you think about it. The next one is take a positive action. We all have these negative voices in our head. The bully in your head, I think of this. These are some of the voices in your head. There is constantly a chatter or some negative voices. You can listen to these voices, but you need to transcend them. You need to transcend these voices and take some action, regardless of how you feel. Sometimes you won't feel like writing, creating. Actually, I never feel like writing. I just force myself, literally. I start it as a game, and then using this small tactics, I wrote 1,300 articles in the last 3 years on Medium, which brought me thousands of dollars of income, okay? And a lot of reputation. But I had to force myself. I had to stop all these voices. And I had to turn it into a game. And I had to resist all these voices constantly and take action, regardless of how you feel. Sometimes you won't feel like doing it. Nevertheless, do it. Have a conversation with your future self who lives in 10 years ahead of you. Have a conversation with him or her, and then you'll have clarity to take action. So the moment that you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must count 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and physically move towards that goal, or your brain will stop you. That's so crucial. That's one of the biggest lessons you can ever do in your life. You will act in just 5 seconds, literally. If you don't, your brain will stop you. Let's say you have an idea, an inspiration. Oh, let me create my YouTube channel, or let me create my Instagram brand or digital product, or let me write on Medium, whatever. You have to act in 5 seconds. Like if you have any idea right now, for example, you are excused from the lecture. Taking action is much more crucial than listening to me. Do that, and I give you full permission to open your YouTube or write on Medium or whatever you need to do. Yeah? It's so much more crucial than the lecture. So you need to act in 5 seconds. Whatever things you really care about. Our brains deceive us. We say, when I'm more comfortable, I will do it. Tomorrow I will do it. When I finish my exams, I will do it. When I do this and this, I will do it. And then that day never comes, never comes. You keep procrastinating it months and months, years and years, and it never comes. Okay? So you need to act in 5 seconds. If you are serious about that goal, you have to make it happen right now. Okay? That's so crucial. And that will transform your life. So I'll skip the posters. You can look at them. But here's the next exercise. Let's do that. I want you to write about the top 10 lessons that you learned in your life. If you would make a list of top 10 lessons, let's say you are writing on Medium as a top writer, or you are presenting a TED Talk on this. What would be your top 10 lessons? Please make a list of them. And write them down right now. Let's say you want to distill your wisdom to younger generations. Kids in high school, let's say, or younger people. What would be your top lessons? Some of these might be like cliches, typical advice, yes, that's absolutely fine. But some of them, try to surprise yourself. Can you come up with like less cliche, contrarian advice as well? Like, what would be your life lesson that would set you apart from the crowds, for example? Many people think that you should do this, but I disagree. I think you should do that instead. Do you have some contrarian advice? Please try to focus on those contrarian pieces of advice if you can. Let's wrap it up in 30 seconds. Write as much as you can. I want you to share, choose and share at least one of them with your friends, clusters next to you. Please choose at least one lesson with each other. Maybe choose the most surprising one if you can, or maybe a more specific one. Or just choose one of them. Share with one another, please, your friend. Just learn from each other. Summarize it. Let's have a bit of talk. Okay, wrap it up, please. Okay, so I placed my lessons here. These are my top 10 lessons. If I had to go on these, I would say these 10 lessons. Do you like any of these? Have a look and choose one of them. Which one is your favorite? Choose one favorite one. And then, yeah. Choose also one that you neglected. Which one is your favorite? Write it down, your favorite one. And then which one is one that you neglected up until now? Also write down that one. Let's wrap it up. The next one is exploring yourself. Here's a great book. The most remarkable part of all is your DNA. You have a meter of DNA packed into every cell of yourself. So many cells that if you formed all the DNA in your body into a single fine strand, it would stretch to 10 billion miles beyond Pluto. Think of it. There is enough of you to leave the solar system. You are, in most literal sense, cosmic. So this comes from this book, The Body, A Guide for Occupants, and Bill Bryson. He's a bestseller. If you haven't read this book, I recommend, strongly recommend you read it. It's an amazing book. The Body. Brainstorming is another one. Let's do this. Think of as many uses as possible for an A4 paper. In the next 2 minutes, let's do this. Try to think of at least 20 different uses. Your goal is to increase the value of an A4 paper. Think of as many inventions or products that you can create from an A4 paper. So your goal is to create value, to create fun, to make money. Can you come up with at least 15 different inventions or products? You can make it like an origami, turn it into an airplane, turn it into a seaweed. Etc. Come up with like ideas like this. Can you invent new stuff that you can sell, perhaps? So your goal is to maximize value. By the way, ChatGPT is amazing in these challenges. It gives you hundreds of different products. Hundreds. So you can ask it to create ideas as well. So I turn this into a challenge as well on Medium. Let's try to wrap it up. The more ideas, the better. Don't judge your ideas. Remember, you can transform paper. You can cut it into pieces. You can use glue. You can combine it with other things. Okay, so yeah, here are some ideas. Origami, different shapes, cut into pieces, reconnect them, create some jewelry, etc. Craft projects, DIY projects, pen and pencil, write on the paper, create stories, poems, products, templates, checklists, artwork, sketches, postcards, invitations. Can you combine paper with other things to invent stationery products? Can you color the paper? Use colors, multiple colors, create a painting or a flag? Can you create paper sculptures? Can you tell stories? Etc. Okay, so in the next one, I put the greatest breakthroughs since the wheel. Let's say you want to categorize different human inventions. How do you categorize them? Do you have any ideas? Can we somehow put these inventions into different categories? So they have done that. Here are some categories. The first one, innovations or inventions that expand human intellect and its creative, expressive, moral possibilities. What are these? Writing, printing press, paper, internet, PC, cell phone, photography, semiconductor electronics, all these things, media. So this is one group. The second group, these are all about infrastructure. Cement, electricity, plumbing, clean water, sanitation systems, all these things. Yeah? The third one, Industrial Revolution, increasing material outputs, steam engine, steel making, refining, drilling of oil, coal. And these are the biggest problems right now because of global warming. Yeah? These threaten us. Innovations extending life, which are agricultural innovations, as well as advances in medical knowledge and treatment. Some of them are listed here. And now I think the biggest innovation we are facing right now is generative artificial intelligence revolution. I think it's in itself a new category which will transform everything as we know it. AI is the biggest invention that is coming and transforming our lives next. I recommend this book. It is called Donut Economics. Donut Economics, we have limited resources, so we should treat the world resources as a donut. Instead of growth, we should focus on sustainability. You can read this book. It's a great one. Harari, I recommend you read Harari a lot to learn more about the future. I'm finishing soon. The next one, possible trillionaire sectors. What would be the biggest sectors that will make you trillionaires. If 7 billion people each spent $143, then it would yield 1 trillion. So Peter Diamandis says, if you want $1 billion, you need to help 1 billion people. So right now we have billion-dollar companies already. Apple has reached $3 billion, right? Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Tesla. For any industry to produce 100 times more value than today's, then you become trillionaire, yeah? You need to be rapidly scalable, global, products with strong demand, transportable, highly profitable, very influential, and leveraging disruptive technologies. So which might be these new technologies or industries that are 100 times more valuable than today? I think the biggest one on my mind is AI, artificial intelligence. It fits the bill. It is very scalable, global, transformative. There is a lot of demand, highly profitable, very influential. But here are some other sectors. Cryptocurrencies, number one. Bitcoin. Have you noticed Bitcoin is rising tremendously? Some of my investments are on Bitcoin and they are rising rapidly. So if you have a portfolio, I think you should definitely have Bitcoin in it, me personally. And Ethereum. The second one, asteroid mining. We have already covered this, remember? It's a very complicated industry though, not easy at all. The third one, instant learning. Brain-machine interfaces. The fourth one, Internet of Things, devices talking to each other. Amazon Alexa is the brain of your smart home. Which one are you really most interested in? I want you to choose some of them, okay? Maybe you can invest in them, or you can learn more, or develop some skill set. Can you invent some of stuff in these sectors? Can you invent new stuff, or can you invest in them? Ask yourself, okay? Instant learning, Internet of Things, cure for human aging, longevity. So Google invested $1 billion into Calico. How can we stop aging, or how can we live longer? So if you pay, let's say, $1 a day to make aging stop, how many people would choose that option? Let's say 1 billion people, then that means 3.65 trillion a year revenue. So you need to think radically in these things. Ultra high speed transportation is another one. Controlling the weather is a huge one. Because of global warming, this will become even more crucial. Can we control weather? Instant sleep. This is always a big issue. Can you sleep instantly? And think of like subscription services. Let's say 1 billion people paying you $10 a day to sleep instantly. Instant disassembling of matter. Human cloning, 3D printed bodies. Personal swarms of swarm bots, which are loaded with GPT and AI. So you have maybe tens of personal assistants helping you. These are swarm bots. And they are all smart. And they will soon become smarter than you, probably, in the next 30 years, 20 years. These swarm bots or AI systems will become smarter than us. How do we deal with that world? They are already becoming smarter and smarter and smarter. So how do you deal with that? We call that superintelligence. You can Google superintelligence or singularity. If I were you, I would definitely learn more about these two terms, superintelligence and singularity. They will transform our lives as we know it. Robotic services, robots, again, super intelligent robots, they are coming. They will come to our homes as well as our workplaces. You will be working with robots very soon. 3D avatars, telepresence avatars. These are digital cloning, digital twins of yourself, your avatars. Your avatars will attend meetings, create value, and they will make more money than you soon. Artificial intelligence, it is a game changer at every level. And it shapes all the other sectors as well. AI, I think, is the biggest one among all of these. Energy storage. So, out of these, which one is your top priority? Please mark them, do more research, and invest in them. Okay? Crypto, asteroid mining, instant learning, Internet of Things, human aging, ultra-high-speed transport, controlling weather, instant sleep, cloning, swarm bots, robots, avatars, AI, and energy. Which ones will be your top priorities? You need to read more, I think, and invest more in these new technologies. The next one is entrepreneurship. I'll show Scrap Daddy. If you haven't watched this, it's a perfect pitch. And he became a millionaire after this. So it's all about sales. Everything is about sales. If you can sell, then you can become rich. Okay. So think about how you can sell digital products as a one-person entrepreneur. There are many guides on that. You can check them out. Please check them out at home. The next and the last part is on Mars. Elon Musk says he will send 1 million people to Mars by mid-century, launching 3 rockets every day and creating a lot of jobs on the red planet. And this is a Forbes article, will your next job be on Mars? And creativity will also be important in Mars, given that there is very little bureaucracy. Your goal is to survive. So you can innovate a lot to solve problems there. How long does it take to go to Mars? Do you know? Any guess? Like 1 month? Longer? Longer, yes. 7-8 months, yeah? If everything goes right. But the trick is, we have that window of opportunity every 2 years, yeah? Because of this.
How do you get to Mars? If you want to send a spacecraft all the way to Mars, first you'll need a fast rocket to escape the pull of Earth's gravity. The heavier your spacecraft, the more powerful your rocket needs to be to lift off. Next, make sure you launch at the right time. Mars and Earth orbit the Sun at different speeds and distances. Sometimes they're really far apart, and other times they come closer together. About every 2 years, the 2 planets are in perfect positions to get to Mars with the least amount of rocket fuel. That's important. The total trip is over 300 million miles. Finally, make sure your aim is right. You can't shoot for where Mars is at launch time. You have to aim for where it will be when you get there. It's a lot like how a quarterback passes a football. Also, you may need a few thrusts to correct your direction along the way so you don't miss Mars. If all goes well, you'll get to the red planet in about 7 or 8 months.
Okay. So, yeah, sorry, have you seen the answer? How long is 1 year? Any guess? Have you seen the answer? It is longer, right? It is longer, for sure. 687 days is 1 year in Mars. Okay. So, the day is 24 hours, 37 minutes. Gravity is 1/3. And temperature is minus 62. There is no atmosphere, almost. So it's quite a challenge to live there. How will we communicate with them? Holoportation technology. It's like metaverse with our avatars. And this guy's TED Talk, I recommend you watch it. We need to solve 5 problems to survive on Mars. How do we solve them? This guy talks about that issue. And Elon Musk has already made history because of these reusable rocket systems. He made history. How? Because of these incredible new inventions. Let's remember that, 2018.
And Falcon Heavy was the first time that this was something that's arguably even in the super heavy class, or somewhere between heavy and super heavy.
Okay, so booster pressure. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
comes back to Earth so that we can use it again.
Gotcha, I see it. Yeah, got him. There he is. You gotta be kidding me! What?
So, yes, we live lots of these historical moments, and this is his talk about colonizing Mars. I recommend you watch his talk in Mexico as well. This was a historical talk, and they're already designing the city on Mars. Let's look at the blueprints. It's called Tempe Mansa. NUA. So you can read more about this new city and how it is designed. So what could be some leisure fun activities? Do you have any ideas? Let's say TripAdvisor is asking your ideas, top 3 things to try in Mars. Do you have any idea? What could be these activities? I'm asking you these because I want you to be more curious. Really, it's all about curiosity. One of them is this canyon system, 4,000 kilometers, 200 kilometers wide, and 2 to 5 kilometers deep. It is the biggest canyon system in the solar system, much bigger than the Earth ones. The other one is the Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. It's quite huge to see. And Martian Olympics. If we can pull it off, you can jump 3 times higher, you can throw balls 3 times further, yeah? So, which creates amazing Olympics, if we can pull that off. Okay, so imagine you've gone to Mars. What would your typical day look like? Write a science fiction story about it. Again, you can use AI to do this as well. I have done some exercises using AI. It has given me amazing scenarios. One of the TV series here is on Netflix. It's called Mars. I recommend you watch it. It tells the story of what humans will do on
We had
Mars.
set out into the unknown.
It's a drama as well.
Explorers of a new world. was part of the first mission.
Mission Control. We're looking at a red planet.
A new hope for humanity.
Creating a self-sustaining civilization on Mars would be the greatest adventure ever in human history. It would be so exciting to wake up in the morning and think that that's what's happening.
With every discovery,
Right now, we're becoming a multiplanetary species.
with every hardship, I'm worried. I don't know about this. We were taking a step forward.
So it is 2 seasons. It's amazing. Meet the first human on Mars. She wants to go to Mars and live there and not come back. Alyssa Carson.
I first got interested in the idea of going to Mars when I was 3 years old.
And liftoff. Liftoff.
She wants to be the first or one of the first to go to Mars.
She's a regular kid with a dream that she's willing to pursue.
Spaceflight is very risky business. You have to take it serious, or you will die.
If the option was to go to Mars and never come back, I would still want to go and be a part of the mission.
Okay, so you can watch this. There's a documentary on Netflix as well. I recommend you watch this as well.
Ground leader checking in.
I was directly told that we cannot land on Mars before we do a med check.
Okay, pressure's going down.
All in a day's work. When we look at the night sky, we say to ourselves, are there any planets out there that are possible homes for humanity?
Space camp opened the path for me to do things that I really want to do.
Kids today have that same drive, that same passion that I had watching the first American launch into space.
We've gotten to the moon, but it's a stepping stone to the red planet.
It would be so amazing to see the Martian surface with my own eyes.
Having a man or woman walk on Mars is just the most badass thought in my mind. It's been over 50 years since we've done something significant like this.
We don't really go to space anymore. People are losing touch with their human spirit.
We have an entire generation who want to go to Mars, but all of that will fall on fallow soil if there isn't some big mission where they can apply this enthusiasm.
Some people think it's fine to just stay on Earth forever, and some people don't.
Let's go out there and make discoveries. Let's change the world.
Somebody from my generation will put their footprint in the Martian soil.
I can't think of a better thing to be defined by.
It's our duty to breathe fire into the imagination of these young people, because our true place is among the stars.
Okay, I'll stop here. Let's finish the module now. You can, just a reminder, December 14th is the deadline. You'll be working on 7i or the entrepreneurial proposal. Choose one of them. This will be 50% of your grade, okay? And lectures will be 10%. There are only 4 weeks of lectures. You will summarize them and choose 2 learning adventures, as usual, okay? And then you'll attach these 8 seminars. These are the seminars we did. Please attach all of them in the correct order, okay? And this is how you will be graded. 50% will be the asset creation project, 10% lectures, 40% seminars. Very similar, okay? So if you have any questions, please let me know. And I've included the checklist. Please check them, okay? And I also did a video after going over last year's projects. These are the mistakes that students had done. And I'm responding to those mistakes after I evaluate those. Which projects didn't achieve distinction? So, and let me remind you, the second project is always more challenging, and the average score over the years was lower in the second portfolio, okay? So it's a bit more rigorous. You need to put more efforts into asset creation, okay? So, and to do that, please make sure you watch the video and not fall into mistakes, especially about your asset creation project, okay? And apply the checklists. So I'll finish with, you can go over the slides. They include a lot of wisdom. I'll finish with this Christmas video. from Canada.
On the eve before flying, the guests were in their beds. Visions of traveling danced in their heads. While out on the runway, something secret had arrived. It was left in the lounge. 'Twas a Christmas surprise.
Oh, hello there! Is that Cohen? A choo-choo train? Oh, a classic! Do you like Thomas? Mommy and Daddy like for Christmas?
Big TV.
Yeah, big TV.
A big TV! You're looking fabulous!
Well, I need to.
It's okay if you just want to stare at me as well.
While the guests told their Christmas wishes to good old St. Nick, WestJetters took notes and got ready to shop quick. It was a great rush with the 2 flights in the air to get all those presents. Not a moment to spare.
St. Paul's ringing his children, saying tonight why Santa's across the line, starting expectations. Happy faces were all so merry and bright tonight.
But was everything ready? We all had to wait for the moment of truth at Carousel 8. Never expected what they'd asked of St. Nick would actually appear. It was all quite a trick. A WestJetter would say it was more than mere fun. Miracles do happen when we all work as one. We'll give Santa the last word.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a pleasant Christmas and holiday. And best of luck. Let's keep in touch. Best luck in your careers. It has been wonderful to know you all. And thanks a lot for making this module fascinating. And this is my farewell cartoon for you. It has been great to have you in this module. Thank you so much. Okay? Thanks a lot. Let's keep in touch. Best luck. Okay?